We're diving into the mysterious and incredibly rare 1963 No Abraham Lincoln penny. Why it's turning everyday folks into overnight millionaires, what makes it so valuable, and how to know if you've got one hiding in your own collection. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to identify this treasure, how to sell it for top dollar, and how this tiny coin could completely change your financial future. And hey, if you're about to rush to the couch cushions already, hold tight. You might miss something even more valuable. Let's rewind a bit. 1963 was a year of transformation in America. Civil rights protests, a booming post-war economy, and a society on the edge of something new. But hidden deep within this pivotal year was a mistake, or was it? The U.S. Mint had been producing the iconic Lincoln penny since 1909. His profile was engraved onto copper coins for over 5 decades. But in an extremely rare twist of fate, a handful of 1963 pennies slipped through the system without Abraham Lincoln's image. No face. No president. No warning. How could that even happen? Some say it was a minting error. Others believe it was a prototype or even an intentional test piece. But one thing is certain, these coins are vanishingly rare. We're talking less than a dozen known to exist in collector circles. And if you've got one, your life might never be the same. Now here's where things get serious. These coins aren't just collectibles. They're assets. Appreciating, high demand, auction-slang assets. One recently went for $846,000. And with the current coin market on fire, experts say the next auction could push it well over $1 million. Still think pennies are worthless? Quick question. When was the last time you checked your coin jar? And let's be honest, how many of us have ignored that clinking sound in the laundry machine? That annoying penny you tossed into the junk drawer? What if that annoying little coin was the missing piece of your retirement plan? Funny how life works. Collectors, investors, even celebrities have jumped into the rare coin world. Why? Because they know something most people don't. It's not about how much you make. It's about how much value you recognize before everyone else does. And the value here is time-sensitive. The longer a coin stays off the radar, the more valuable it becomes. The fewer in circulation, the higher the demand. The fewer people who know about it, the better chance you have of cashing in before the market explodes. But there's a problem. Counterfeits are everywhere. Not every 1963 penny is a jackpot. In fact, many are worth less than $1. But once in a while, a genuine, uncirculated, no Lincoln coin appears, and when it does, collectors go to war. So how do you know if yours is real? That's exactly what we're getting into next. But first, imagine what you'd do with $1 million penny. Would you retire early? Pay off the house? Travel the world? Or maybe finally start that business you've been dreaming about? Hold on to that thought, because your future might already be sitting in your sock drawer. Now here's what to look for. First, check the year. It must say 1963. Next, examine the obverse, the front side of the coin. Is Lincoln missing? Is the surface clean, smooth, or oddly stamped? Does the design look off-center or incomplete? These are major red flags, or rather, green lights. And if you suspect you have one, don't clean it. Don't scratch it. Don't take it to your local coin shop. Take it straight to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify the authenticity and issue a certificate that can skyrocket its value. Once verified, reach out to a high-level auction house. Heritage auctions or Stacksbowers are great places to start. Don't post it online. Don't list it on eBay. Private collectors will offer far more, and the bidding wars are real. Now, let me be crystal clear. These opportunities are not guaranteed, but they are real, they're rare, and they are worth your attention. Because this isn't just about finding a coin. It's about recognizing the life-altering power of something most people ignore. It's about freedom. You could be one discovery away from turning an ordinary day into the moment everything changes. So now, here's the big question. What other rare coins are hiding in plain sight right now that most people overlook, but could be worth even more than this? Because the 1963 No Abraham Lincoln penny isn't the only golden goose out there. If you want to know which other coins are making everyday Americans rich beyond belief, make sure you're subscribed. In our next video, we're exposing the top 3 pennies turning into 6-figure paydays this year. And one of them might be sitting in your wallet right now. Check your coins. Check your drawers. And check back here. We're just getting started. We're diving deep into one of the rarest and most mysterious coins in American history, the 1967 No Abraham Lincoln penny. You're probably wondering, how could a penny, the lowest denomination in U.S. currency, be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Well, strap in, because once you hear the story behind this elusive coin, your next trip to the junk drawer might just change your life. But before we get into that, when was the last time you looked at a penny and thought, this could make me rich? Never. Exactly. And that's why this story is so unbelievable and so urgent. Let's rewind to the year 1967. The Vietnam War is raging. Gas costs 33 cents. Elvis marries Priscilla. And the U.S. Mint is striking billions of coins to meet rising demand. But in the chaos of mass production, a mistake is made. Or was it a mistake? A small number of pennies were struck without Abraham Lincoln's image on the obverse. No bust, no face, just the date. And the word liberty. This wasn't supposed to happen. Since 1909, every Lincoln cent was required to feature his portrait. It was a legal standard. So when these mysterious, faceless 1967 pennies began to surface, numismatists were stunned. Some experts claim it was a die error. Others believe it was an experimental strike. A few even whisper about a rogue mint employee testing an alternative design. Whatever the truth is, only a handful of these coins have ever been verified. And here's where it gets exciting. In early 2024, one of these coins sold in a private auction for $748,000. That's right. A single penny. $748,000. Imagine finding that in your glove compartment. Now before you grab a magnifying glass and raid every coin in your house, there's more you need to know. Because not every 1967 penny is rare, and not every missing face is real. Let's talk specifics. How can you tell if your 1967 penny is one of the valuable ones? First, check the obverse side. The coin should still have the date and the word liberty. But Lincoln's bust should be completely missing, not faded, not worn, missing. Second, the coin's edges should be sharp. That's important. A smooth edge might indicate heavy circulation, which lowers the value, or worse, a fake. And third, look for mint luster. That shine? That untouched surface? That's a good sign. It means the coin hasn't been damaged. Still with me? Good. Because the story only gets better from here. By the way, if you're currently tipping over your couch to check for pennies, don't worry. We'll wait. Found anything weird yet? No? Keep looking. Because if you find the right one, we're not talking about a few $100 here. We're talking about enough money to pay off your mortgage. Buy that dream house, travel first class, or finally quit that job that's been draining your soul for 20 years. Wouldn't that be something? Let me be clear. Most people will go their entire lives never knowing what they had, that they were holding on to a rare, life-changing coin, and they let it slip away. It's not just about luck. It's about knowing what to look for. It's about being aware and taking action. Coins like this are still being found. Last year alone, 2 more surfaced in estate sales and private collections. They had been sitting untouched for decades. No one thought twice about them until someone did. And that's the difference. So here's what I want you to do. Right now. Go grab that old change jar. Open that drawer. Dig through that dusty box in the attic. Pull out every penny from 1967. Inspect them closely. If you find one that's missing Lincoln's face, stop everything. Do not clean it. Do not alter it. Contact a professional coin appraiser. Get it authenticated. Because that little copper coin could be worth more than most cars, more than many homes, and definitely more than a lifetime of minimum wage jobs. This isn't about pennies. It's about power, about possibility, about seizing the kind of opportunity most people only dream about. And you're here because part of you believes that you're meant for more. You're not just someone scrolling through videos. You're someone who sees a chance to change your life and takes it. But here's the truth. These coins aren't going to be out there forever. As more get discovered, the competition grows and the window gets smaller. You don't want to be the person who hears about it 10 years from now and says, I think I had one of those once. Don't wait. Check your coins. Your future might be hiding in plain sight on the face of a penny that doesn't exist. In our next video, we're going to break down the top 5 most valuable US pennies ever discovered, including one that literally sold for $1.7 million. You won't want to miss it. What if I told you that a single penny, the kind that might be hiding in a forgotten drawer or coffee can, could change your life forever? That a 1968 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is turning everyday Americans into millionaires overnight. One of these tiny copper coins recently sold for an astonishing $946,000. Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent worth nearly $1 million. So the real question is, do you have one? And before you rush to check under your car seats or flip over your lucky penny, let's slow down, because not every 1968 penny will make you rich. But if you stick with me for the next few minutes, you'll learn exactly what makes this penny so valuable, why collectors are scrambling to find them, and how you can tell if you're sitting on a small fortune. And trust me, this isn't some coin collector's fantasy. This is real. It's happening now, so stay sharp. Your future wealth might be hiding in plain sight. James, a retired teacher from Ohio, was cleaning out his attic when he stumbled upon an old jar of coins his grandfather left him. Most were ordinary, but one penny caught his eye. Mint mark. 1968, Lincoln's face, clear and centered, and something felt different. He took it to an appraiser, just in case. Weeks later, he walked out with nearly $1 million. Let that sink in. While most people spend their lives chasing paychecks, a penny saved from 1968 changed James' life in a single moment. Now, here's what makes that 1968 penny so rare and valuable. First, the no mint mark. In 1968, the U.S. Mint produced pennies in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Pennies from Denver and San Francisco carry a small D or S under the year. But Philadelphia coins, no mark. Now usually that's normal. But here's the twist. There were a few error coins struck in 1968, extremely high quality, rare specimens with double dies, off-center strikes, or unique copper compositions. Combine that with no mint mark and suddenly you're looking at a collector's dream. And here's the kicker, only a handful are known to exist in mint condition. So yes, it's like winning the lottery, but instead of buying a ticket, you just have to check your junk drawer. Not bad, right? But here's where it gets real. Millions of these coins are disappearing every year. Thrown away, melted down, forgotten, and with every penny lost, the value of the surviving one skyrockets. If you're holding one, and you don't even know it, you could be literally throwing away $1 million. So now you're wondering, how can you tell if your penny is the golden ticket? No mint mark beneath the date, sharp strike and clean surface, almost uncirculated doubling on the lettering, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. Wait, it should weigh about 3.11 grams. Any odd variations might be a sign of an error coin. Got a coin that checks these boxes? Do not try to clean it. Not throw it on eBay for $20. And please don't take it to your corner pawn shop. You need to get it professionally appraised. And if it's legit, collectors will line up with 6- and 7-figure offers. But here's what they don't want you to know. The market is heating up. With fewer high-grade pennies in circulation, demand is exploding. The $946,000 penny was just the beginning. Could the next $1 million coin be in your hands? Check your stash. Call your parents. Dig into that box in the garage. Because these moments don't come twice. You only need one. That this isn't just about a coin. It's about freedom. About changing the trajectory of your life. And it starts with a penny. So, what are you waiting for? Subscribe for more rare coin insights. Comment penny power if you're checking your stash right now. And remember, fortune favors the curious. Let me know if you want a shortened version, script for voiceover, or a storyboard-style breakdown for visuals. Imagine reaching into an old drawer, brushing past keys, receipts, a few scattered coins, and pulling out one penny that could change your entire life. Not a gold coin, not a silver bar, just a simple reddish-brown penny. From 1972 No mint mark. No Abraham Lincoln on the back. This coin is now selling for up to $846,000. Let that sink in. Now here's the catch. Most people wouldn't even recognize it. They'd spend it on gas. Or worse, toss it in a Coinstar machine for a few cents back. But you're about to learn what makes this penny one of the most valuable coins in American history. And by the end of this video, you might be reaching for that dusty coin jar yourself. Because your next move could be the difference between missing out or cashing in. So what makes this little copper coin so special? Let's rewind to the year 1972. The Vietnam War was raging. Nixon was in the White House. Gas was 55 cents a gallon. And in the middle of all this chaos, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia made a mistake. A quiet, tiny error that created one of the rarest modern pennies to ever exist. It's called the 1972 No Mint Mark Double Die Obverse Penny. And if that sounds complicated, don't worry. Here's the simple version. The Mint accidentally struck thousands of pennies twice, but not in perfect alignment. Lincoln's image and the inscriptions on the front appear doubled. Clear. Obvious. No magnifying glass needed. Now remember, no mint mark means it came from the Philadelphia Mint. And unlike Denver or San Francisco, Philadelphia didn't mark its pennies that year. So what you're looking for is a 1972 penny with NO Mint letter under the date, and clear signs of doubling in the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date itself. You're holding history, and potentially, nearly $1 million. Crazy, right? How many of these have been thrown away, spent, or lost forever? Here's a sobering thought. There are only a few hundred in premium condition, and that's where things get interesting. Collectors are hungry for this coin. Auction houses have seen bidding wars that leave jaws on the floor. In one verified case, a 1972 No Mint Lincoln Double Die penny sold $4,846,000. And the demand? It's only rising. Why? Because scarcity breeds desire, and money follows rarity. Now you might be wondering, okay, I have a bunch of old coins. How do I know if I have this one? Great question. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, a pattern interrupt. Quick check. When's the last time you actually looked at a penny? Not just saw one. I mean, looked at it. You toss them in a jar. Use them to scratch off lottery tickets. If you haven't checked in years, well, this might be the most expensive habit of your life. Here's where it gets serious. This isn't just a curiosity. This is an opportunity, and opportunities like this don't knock twice. The price of this coin has surged nearly 600% in the last decade, and experts believe it hasn't even peaked. Collectors are aging. Wealth is transferring. Demand is exploding. Every day that passes, someone out there finds another rare coin, and someone else loses their chance. So what do you do now? Grab every 1972 penny you can find. Look under the date. No mint mark? Good. Examine the lettering. See clear doubling in God We Trust. Liberty? The date itself? If you see that doubling, stop everything. Not clean the coin. Not try to sell it on eBay. Not take it to a pawn shop. Contact a professional numismatist, or send it for certified grading. That's how the big money happens. That's how you avoid getting lowballed. Still think pennies are worthless? Well, some people throw them in fountains and wish for wealth. Others look closely and find wealth was in their hand the whole time. But here's the twist. That 1972 No Mint Lincoln penny. It's not the only one out there worth six figures. In fact, there's a different penny, even rarer, that could be sitting in your collection right now. And almost no one knows what to look for. In the next video, I'll reveal exactly which one it is, and why it's making millionaires in silence. So before you check that coin jar, before you make any moves, subscribe and stay tuned. Because this is how legacies are built. One penny at a time. What if I told you the penny sitting in your junk drawer could be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, a single coin, 1 cent, one decision away from changing your life forever. Now before you roll your eyes and say, "Come on, it's just a penny," let me tell you something that might stop you in your tracks. A 1969 Lincoln penny just sold for an unbelievable $746,000. And that's not even the record. The real question is, do you have one? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to identify the rare ones, and how people just like you are cashing in old coins for small fortunes. But fair warning, most people who ignore this video will throw away money without ever knowing it. Let's make sure you're not one of them. Let's go back to 1969. America had just landed on the moon. Woodstock was rewriting culture. And in the quiet halls of the Denver Mint, something unexpected happened. A batch of Lincoln pennies left the facility. Seemingly normal, but hiding a secret. These coins weren't just 1 in a million. They were worth millions. Now here's where it gets exciting. The 1969 Lincoln penny looks like any other. Bronze. Modest. Overlooked. But there's a specific version of it that can make you wealthy overnight. So what makes it so valuable? It's the doubling, known as a double die error. On some of these coins, Lincoln's profile, the word liberty, and the date show strong doubling, meaning it looks like everything's been printed twice. It's a minting mistake, and collectors pay huge money for it. Some of these pennies have fetched six figures at auction. One sold for $746,000, just a penny, remember? And here's the twist, many of these coins are still out there, sitting in drawers, tucked into jars, forgotten in pocket change. Ask yourself, when was the last time you actually looked at your change? Now, let's pause. Do you have a penny from 1969? Go check. Right now. No, seriously, pause this video and check. You could literally be sitting on a retirement plan. Back? Good. Let's talk about how to spot the real deal. First, check the date. It must read 1969 with a small D mint mark beneath it. Next, look closely at the text, especially Liberty, and In God We Trust. If it looks like the letters are doubled or shadowed, you might be holding something extraordinary. Of course, there are fakes out there too, so authentication matters. But we'll get to that. Quick reset, has anyone ever told you that pennies were just junk? Well, they lied. Because a coin like this can flip your finances upside down. And here's a pattern interrupt for you. Why is it that people spend hours looking for lost remote controls but never once check under the couch cushions for a $700,000 penny? Let that sink in. Now here's the crucial part. Let's say you've got what looks like a 1969 D double die penny. What do you do next? Don't just run to your local pawn shop. You'll get pennies on the dollar, pun intended. Instead, send it to a trusted coin grading service. PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it, grade its condition, and certify its value. Only then can you take it to serious collectors or auction houses who understand its worth. Now, imagine this, you get that penny graded. It's real, it's rare, and it's valued at over $500,000. What does that mean for your future? Pay off debt, travel, invest, finally take that leap into the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. But there's a warning here too. Many people never bother to check. And over the years, these rare coins end up lost, recycled, or forgotten. Don't let that happen to you. If you've got a box of old coins from your parents or grandparents, now is the time to go through them. You might find more than just pennies. You might find your future. Some people watch videos like this and get curious. Others take action and get rich. Which one are you? Imagine reaching into your old coin jar, brushing past dusty pennies, and pulling out a single copper coin, only to discover it could make you a millionaire. Sounds crazy? It's not. One specific penny from 1973, the Denver Mint version with Abraham Lincoln on it, recently stunned collectors with a market value of $646,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, worth nearly $250,000. Still think spare change isn't worth your time? Here's the truth. People across America are unknowingly sitting on small fortunes, hidden in plain sight inside dresser drawers, coffee cans, and inherited coin collections. So why hasn't anyone told you this before? Why do so many let their wealth slip through their fingers? Because most people think they don't have anything valuable. But the wealthy know something different. Value hides in the overlooked. Today, we're going to uncover the story, the secrets, and the shocking reasons why this ordinary-looking penny could transform your financial future. Stay with me. You'll want to know what to look for, because the clues are subtle, but the reward? Life-changing. And stick around until the end, because I'm going to reveal the single detail most people miss, and it's the key to separating a common coin from one worth a fortune. Let's dive in. The year was 1973. America was grappling with inflation, oil crises, and the Vietnam War's final chapter. But quietly, at the Denver Mint, a batch of Lincoln pennies rolled off the production line. Some with a mysterious difference. Most were ordinary, but a few, and we're talking extremely few, were struck with subtle errors, making them numismatic goldmines today. Now here's where it gets exciting or terrifying, depending on your perspective. That 1973 D Lincoln penny sitting in your change jar? It might be one of them. The high-value versions are rare, but they exist. Some were double-struck. Some have unique die errors. And some are in near-perfect condition despite their age, what collectors call mint state or MS condition. The record-breaking penny is not gold, not silver, just 1 cent in copper and zinc. But it fetched over $600,000 at auction because of its condition and rarity. Still think a penny can't change your life? And here's a pattern interrupt for you. Have you ever dropped a penny and walked away because it wasn't worth it? What if you just abandoned your ticket to a beachfront villa and a new Tesla? Kind of makes you want to go crawl under your car seat, doesn't it? But seriously, the power here isn't just in one coin. It's in knowing how to spot the right ones and how to sell them to the right buyer. We're about to break that down. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Look for 1973, specifically the one stamped with a small D under the date, the Denver Mint. Now examine it carefully. Does it have a sharp, clean strike? Is it glossy, copper red, and flawless even under a magnifying glass? Are there unusual doubling effects on the lettering? If so, you may have something extraordinary. But wait, don't run to the pawn shop just yet. Most people get ripped off because they don't know what they're holding. Your next step? Get it graded by a trusted coin grading company. PCGS and NGC are two of the most respected. A proper grading could instantly multiply your coin's value by thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then, and only then, consider auctioning it. Heritage auctions, Stax Bowers, or even eBay, if done correctly, can connect you with buyers who are hungry for this exact type of rarity. But here's the emotional twist. Every day that coin sits in a jar or shoebox, its value might be slipping away. Improper storage causes damage. Humidity, handling, even time. They all eat into potential profits. So if you're thinking maybe later, let me ask you this. Would you delay cashing in a winning lottery ticket? The time to act is now. Not tomorrow. Not when the market cools. Now. Because the people who wait, they miss out. And the people who act, they change their lives. There's one specific marking, almost invisible to the naked eye, that separates the $1 penny from the $600,000 prize. Most collectors miss it, but I'll be revealing that in my next video. Because if you're serious about living wealthier, escaping the paycheck-to-paycheck trap, and transforming forgotten coins into freedom, then you're already one step ahead of the crowd. And you're exactly who this channel was made for. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and get ready. Because your $1 million penny might just be hiding in plain sight. And next time, we'll show you exactly how to find it. 1973D penny value secrets. How to spot a $600,000 coin. Coming up next, the hidden mint error that made one penny worth a mansion. What if I told you that your path to financial freedom, your ticket to the lifestyle you've always dreamed of, could be hiding in your home right now? Because someone recently discovered a 1980 penny with a minting error so rare, it's now valued at a staggering $948,000 on the collector's market. Still think pennies are worthless? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what this coin looks like, how to know if you have one, and how to sell it for top dollar. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. Let's rewind for a moment. In 1980, the United States Mint produced billions of Lincoln pennies. Billions. But among that ocean of copper-plated coins, a mistake happened. A coin slipped through without the image of Abraham Lincoln, an error that defies the very identity of the Lincoln cent. Some call it a ghost penny. Others say it's a freak of history. But to collectors, it's gold. Now, here's the twist. This isn't just any misprint. The missing Lincoln image suggests a die error or severe strike-through during the minting process. These kinds of flaws are like finding a four-leaf clover in a field of thousands. They're rare, they're real, and they're ridiculously valuable. One of these error coins was recently authenticated and valued at $948,000. And guess what? The owner didn't find it at an auction or in a museum. He found it in an old drawer, in his late father's coin collection. Let that sink in. Do you know what's hiding in your drawers? Your attic? Your coin jar? What's tucked away in that old cigar box your grandfather handed you? You might be holding a lottery ticket in the form of a coin. Let's pause here for a second. If you're thinking, okay, but I wouldn't even know what to look for, let me ask you this. When's the last time you checked a penny closely? I mean, really looked at it? You stare harder at your phone screen when it lags than you do at the money in your hand. Don't worry, you're not alone. But this is where things change. Because the truth is, you can learn what to look for. And it's simpler than you think. Here's what sets the 1980 No Lincoln penny apart. There is no bust of Abraham Lincoln. It's either faded, missing entirely, or shows only an outline. The coin may still carry the correct date, 1980, but the face is blank or deeply mistruck. It has been authenticated by grading services like PCGS or NGC. Without this certification, its value can't be confirmed. If you suspect you have one, you must act fast. These kinds of coins don't stay off the radar for long. Once word spreads, everyone starts digging through their change. It's a race. And like any race, only the first few across the finish line will walk away with the prize. Now, here comes the gut punch. Most people don't realize what they have. They spend it, they toss it, or they give it to a coin-counting machine for a few dollars in cash. Imagine throwing away $948,000 because you didn't know. But here's where it gets even more interesting. This isn't the only coin like it. In fact, dozens of valuable penny errors have been found over the years, some worth $10,000, $50,000, even $1 million. What if the 1980 No Lincoln penny is just one of many in your possession? What if there's more money lying around your house than in your checking account? We're about to dive into exactly how to inspect your coins, what tools you need, how to get a proper appraisal, and how to sell for maximum value. But before that, let me ask you, are you really willing to miss out on $1 million opportunity? Or are you ready to take control? So here's your plan. First, grab every penny you have from 1970 to 1990. Put them on a clean surface. Use a magnifying glass or your phone camera and zoom in. Look closely at the image. Is Lincoln missing, faded, unusual? Second, separate any suspicious-looking coins. Take clear, high-resolution photos, front and back. Third, reach out to certified coin graders. PCGS and NGC are two of the most trusted. You can mail in your coins and get a professional appraisal. Fourth, list your coin at high-end auction sites or go through a licensed dealer. Never sell to someone offering cash without authentication. You want the highest return. Remember, this is your once-in-a-lifetime shot. Look, we all dream of stumbling into wealth without playing the lottery. This is the closest it gets. You're not chasing rainbows. You're checking your own change. Isn't it funny? We spend our lives chasing money, and the real fortune could be sitting under a couch cushion. Don't let fear, doubt, or procrastination rob you of what could be yours. Go now. Check your coins. Check your father's collection. Check your junk drawer. And if you find something, don't just pocket it. Get it verified. Get it valued. Because wealth doesn't always come with a paycheck. Sometimes it comes with a penny. And maybe, just maybe, the next $1 million story is yours. Subscribe for more rare coin secrets and share this video with someone you love. You might just change their life too. Let me know if you'd like visuals or B-roll suggestions to accompany this script. What if I told you the secret to $1 million lifestyle could be sitting unnoticed in your junk drawer right now? Yes, that old penny you nearly gave away for nothing could be worth nearly $1 million. One specific coin, the 1964 Lincoln penny, has recently sold for a staggering $948,000. Not a typo, not a myth. That's cold, hard cash for a single copper coin. So before you toss your loose change or roll your eyes, ask yourself this. What if that tiny coin could rewrite your financial future? Because for some Americans, it already has. The DSOVRY. Let's rewind for a moment. Picture a quiet afternoon in a small town. A retired mechanic going through an old coffee can filled with pennies from decades ago. One coin stands out, slightly darker. He thinks nothing of it, almost tosses it aside. But something tells him to look closer. A week later, that very penny is auctioned for close to $1 million. How many times have you brushed off a dusty coin, never knowing its true worth? The 1964 Lincoln penny seems common, but a rare version exists. It's a hidden treasure in plain sight. What makes it so valuable? That's where the mystery begins. At the rarity and the Russian 1964, the U.S. Mint was undergoing changes. Silver was being phased out of coinage, and the mint was producing billions of pennies to meet demand. But amidst the flood of copper came a fluke. Some 1964 pennies were struck using leftover dies from the previous year. Some were double die errors. A few were made on bronze planchets meant for other coins. These mistakes, invisible to most, turned these pennies into historic, ultra-rare collectibles. Think about that for a second. A manufacturing error, a moment of imperfection, suddenly becomes a source of unimaginable value. There's a lesson there. And here's the kicker. Most people who own these coins don't even know it. You might already be richer than you think. But only if you look. Now imagine the excitement. Collectors, dealers, treasure hunters, all scrambling to find these rare specimens. But unlike typical treasure hunts, this one doesn't require a shovel, just a coin jar, or a dusty shoebox in your attic. By the way, when's the last time you checked that drawer in your kitchen? Let's pause for a second. If you're thinking, this sounds like a lucky break that only happens to other people, you're not alone. But let me ask you something. Who told you that wealth only comes through hard labor, long hours, and the lottery? Because sometimes, wealth comes in copper. Now back to our story. Act3. The OPPORTUNITY, the current market value of one of these ultra-rare 1964 Lincoln pennies. $948,000. Nearly $1 million for a coin that cost 1 cent to make. Now here's where the urgency kicks in. As more coins are discovered and authenticated, the rarity decreases. That drives the market down. Which means, if you do have one of these gems, the best time to act is now. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. Every day that passes, more people dig through their change. More coins surface. Fewer buyers will pay premium prices. This is your window, your moment to act, your chance to change your life. Cliffhanger TOCLOSE. In a moment, I'm going to tell you exactly how to spot the $1 million version of the 1964 penny, the exact details to look for, and where to go to get it verified. But first, let me ask you this. If someone offered you $1 million lottery ticket, but said it's hidden in your house, would you look for it? Because that's exactly what this is. Don't wait. Don't assume. Don't dismiss. Because one of the most valuable coins in America could be in your pocket. And if you stick with me just a little longer, I'll show you how to find it. Before someone else does. In the next video, we'll break down the top 5 signs your 1964 penny is one of the rare ones, including a subtle marking only experts know how to spot. So hit subscribe. Tap the bell. This is not just about coins. It's about unlocking wealth that's already yours. And remember, fortune doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it jingles softly in your pocket. What if I told you the penny sitting in your kitchen drawer, the one you've ignored for decades, could be worth nearly $1 million? No, this isn't a joke. This isn't some late-night infomercial. This is real. Right now, the 1979 Lincoln penny is shaking the coin world, with a confirmed market value of $948,000. Yes. Almost $1 million for 1 cent. Take a moment and let that sink in. That same penny your granddad handed you when you were a kid might just be your winning lottery ticket. Still think change is just spare. Now before you rush off to check your jar of old coins, stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, I'll show you why this specific penny is so valuable, how to know if you have one, and what to do if you strike gold or copper in this case. But let me warn you, if you toss out the wrong penny, you could be throwing away a small fortune. Ever heard the saying, a penny saved is a penny earned? Well, Benjamin Franklin clearly never priced one at $948,000. Let's go deeper. Act2. The journey into the pennies. WRTH. Back in 1979, millions of Lincoln pennies were struck by the Denver Mint. At first glance, they all look the same. But here's where the story takes a thrilling turn. Among the mass production, a few coins were minted with rare die errors, striking anomalies, and exceptional conditions. These are what collectors call unicorns. Pennies that are so rare, so pristine, that collectors will pay hundreds of thousands to get their hands on them. Now here's the kicker point. One of these 1979 Lincoln pennies recently sold for a jaw-dropping $948,000. Why? Let's break it down. First, there's the mint mark. The D under the date tells us it came from Denver. That's important, but it's not the jackpot trigger. The real value comes from 2 factors: condition and error. The $1 million penny was a mint state specimen, graded MS 67 or higher by professional coin grading services. That's like the coin world's equivalent of a diamond with flawless clarity. Even more, it featured a rare double die error, a minting mistake where the design is imprinted twice, creating a shadowed or doubled appearance on the lettering or Lincoln's face. Combine rarity, condition, and collector obsession, and you've got a perfect storm. Emotional trigger, fear of missing out, and here's where it gets urgent. Only a few of these pennies are known to exist, meaning yours, yes, yours, could be one of them. What if it's hiding right now in your old drawer, forgotten, waiting to be discovered? Imagine walking into a coin shop next week with a penny and walking out with enough money to pay off your mortgage, take that dream vacation, or finally start the business you've been dreaming about. Or hey, at least finally stop arguing with your spouse about turning down the thermostat. The payoff and call TOACTION. You might be asking, okay, how do I know if I have one of these treasures? Here's what you need to do, step by step. Point 1. Look for the 1979 date and the D mint mark just below it. Point 2. Check the coin's condition. It should have full details, no wear, and sharp edges. If it's shiny and crisp, don't dismiss it. Point 3. Use a magnifying glass or phone zoom to check for any doubling in the date or letters. That's your signal of a rare mint error. If you suspect you've got something valuable, don't clean the coin. That could destroy its worth. Instead, get it professionally graded. Reach out to certified coin dealers or grading services like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you if your penny is pocket change or a pocket-sized fortune. But here's the twist. There may be other coins in your home, not just the 1979 D penny, worth even more. And most Americans have no idea that. In our next video, we reveal 5 other coins from the 60s, 70s, and 80s that could turn average folks into overnight millionaires. So hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because the treasure hunt is just getting started. Here's the truth. You don't need a degree in finance. You don't need to play the stock market. Sometimes, all it takes is opening that dusty box in the attic and looking a little closer. What's hiding in your home could change your life. So before you toss that penny back into your change jar, ask yourself this. Is this just a coin? Or is this your shot at freedom? The clock is ticking. Your $1 million penny might be closer than you think. Stay curious. Stay alert. And whatever you do, don't throw away your fortune. What if I told you a penny? Yes, a single penny could be worth more than $500,000. Now, before you toss that jar of loose change aside again, you need to hear this. In 2013, the US Mint released a coin that looked ordinary. It had the face of Abraham Lincoln like every other modern penny. But hidden among the millions was a version so rare, so unbelievably valuable, that collectors today are paying over $646,000 for it, a penny worth more than a Lamborghini, more than some homes. Sounds crazy, right? And here's the best part. You might already have it. But time is not on your side. Most people have no idea what to look for. And the window to cash in on these rare coins is rapidly closing. So stay with me, because over the next few minutes, I'll reveal exactly what makes this 2013 Lincoln penny worth a fortune, how to identify if you have one, and the one mistake that could cost you everything. Let's rewind. It's 2013. Smartphones are taking over. Bitcoin is barely a whisper, and the US Mint quietly issues billions of Lincoln pennies into circulation. But in the chaos of mass production, something unexpected happens. A tiny number of these coins are struck on bronze planchets, an outdated metal blank no longer used since the early 80s. Instead of the standard zinc-coated copper, these rare 2013 pennies were made from pure bronze by accident. How rare are they? So far, only a few have been verified, and collectors are going wild. One recently sold at auction for $646,000. That's not a rumor. That's a recorded sale. And this isn't some fluke. The coin community is always on the lookout for mint errors and anomalies like this, because where others see pocket change, they see opportunity. But here's where it gets real. You could be holding one right now, in your car's cup holder, in a drawer, under the couch cushions. Just imagine how many hands it passed through without anyone realizing the treasure in their pocket. Here's a quick question. When was the last time you really looked at a penny? If you're like most people, you haven't. You tossed them aside. Let's be honest, Sometimes you'd rather leave them on the ground than pick them up. That's exactly why these rare coins stay hidden. Let that sink in. Now you might be wondering, how do I know if I have the one? We'll get to that. But first, let me tell you a quick story. A man in Texas found one of these rare pennies while cleaning out his grandfather's collection. At first, he thought it was junk, just another old coin. But something felt off. The weight, the shine, the sound it made when dropped. He took it to a certified appraiser, just in case. That junk penny changed his life. Sold at auction. Gone in minutes. Now imagine that was you. Here's how you spot one of these rare 2013 Lincoln pennies. 2013. Clear and crisp. Second, pay attention to the weight. Regular pennies after 1982 weigh 2.5 grams. The rare bronze ones? About 3.1 grams. That slight difference is everything. You'll need a precise digital scale. They cost less than $20 online. Think of it as the key to a potential fortune. Next, look for any color variation. Bronze coins tend to have a warmer, more golden hue than standard pennies. It may not be obvious at first, but side by side, the difference is striking. And finally, take it to a professional coin dealer or a grading service. If it's the real deal, they'll know. And trust me, collectors are actively hunting for these coins right now. But here's the catch. Every day, more of these rare coins are being lost, melted down, damaged, tossed away without a second glance. Every hour you wait, the chances of finding one decrease. Because coins don't last forever. Imagine the regret of discovering this video a year from now and realizing you had one, but never checked. That's fear talking, and it's the kind that could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. But now imagine the opposite. Imagine opening that old coin jar, weighing a few pennies, and realizing you just became a part of the 1%. You didn't win the lottery. You didn't go back to school. You didn't gamble. You just paid attention. That's power. Right now, your future wealth could be sitting in a sock drawer. Weigh that 2013 penny. Look closer. Take action. And if you want to know exactly which other years and errors are worth hundreds of thousands, even millions, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because in the next video I'll reveal the top 3 coins hiding in plain sight right now. And one of them, it's even more valuable than this one. You don't want to miss it. Your millionaire moment could start with a penny. Let me know if you'd like a voiceover version, music suggestions, or visual direction to go with the script.